FSU issues a notice to withdraw from the ACC. What other schools are going to follow?
College football realignment and expansion is always in the news, so we're back on the big mountain to break it down for you.
Hey, how you doing? I am JY. This is my good friend Steve. If you're new to the mountain, welcome. We're going to be talking a little bit more about FSU and the ACC, some of their lawsuits. A little bit of a short episode here, but a couple things I want to bring up. The first one is the actual notice to withdraw. And something that I really haven't seen in the headlines a whole lot, but I think it's really, really important. And so I first want to talk about what does their bylaws say, or they call them their Constitution. What does the Constitution say as what determines a notice of withdrawal? And then I want to talk about their lawsuit real briefly and what that says about their notice to withdraw. So the ACC Constitution 1.4.5, withdrawal of members states, to withdraw from the conference, a member must file an official notice of withdrawal with each of the members and the commissioner on or before August 15th for that withdrawal to be effective June 30th of the following year. So again, I'm just going to say a member must file an official notice. Now, does that mean written? Lord knows.
Who knows?
We asked that question with the Pac-12, but
we asked Judge Levy that question.
We asked Judge Levy that question. An official notice, but the thing that I find a little bit more interesting is an official notice of withdrawal with each of the members and the commissioner. So I find that to be a little telling. If you remember the Pac-12, we brought them up. All they said was deliver a notice of withdrawal to the conference.
Yeah.
That was it. So at least we're getting a little bit more here
verbiage,
with the ACC. Yeah. Still maybe not as specific as you would like, but I do think it's a little telling that they actually have to issue this notice to the members and the commission. Again, is a public notice enough? I don't know. That was the issue we had with the Pac-12. But I did find it really interesting. And again, I didn't see this as headlines very much. But in the filing, FSU requests that August 14th, 2023 be used as their formal notice of withdrawal date from the ACC if one of the 6 counts is successful. So as a reminder, there are 7 counts. Here are the 7 counts. ACC's punishments are unreasonable restraints of trade in Florida. ACC's punishments are unenforceable penalties. ACC breached its contracts. ACC breached its fiduciary responsibility. There's a fundamental failure of contractual purpose. The punishments violate Florida public policy and are unconscionable. And there's other reasons that these things are unenforceable. So if any one of those counts comes to be in FSU's favor, FSU has asked the courts to rule that August 14th, 2023 is their withdrawal date. I missed that on my first read. I was more interested in reading what the counts were. They literally put that in the last sentence of every count.
Yeah, and I haven't seen anybody report that anywhere. I guess a lot of people missed it, or maybe we just missed it in the reporting. So much going on.
There's a lot going on.
I think it's huge. So before I give you my thoughts on that, I just want to give a couple shout outs real quick. So we noticed this week, it was brought to our attention, our videos made it over to warchant.com.
Oh my.
They have great conversation, really robust over there. It's a Florida State website. We had a couple posters. I think Crazy Horse 79.
Okay.
And then obviously the very famous Genetics. He's famous on Twitter. He's been breaking all the Big Ten news from the very beginning. I believe he has connections to the Nebraska athletic department.
Okay.
And he had stuff a couple years back before very many other people on USC and all that stuff with the Pac, and also with the Big Ten maybe looking to target some ACC programs.
Okay.
So it was great to see them talking about our show on here.
Awesome.
Maybe at some point over the offseason we'll get somebody from Warchant to maybe come on to a guest appearance. Mm-hmm. Maybe Mr. Genetics himself.
Okay.
So I just want to throw that out there. It was cool. And it seemed like everybody really liked a couple videos ago. You did a breakdown of per year, going by the actual filings, what was in the filings of what the penalty was, the regular penalty, the extreme withdrawal penalty, all the different penalties per year. I thought you did a great job on that, and it seemed like everybody over there on Warchant thought the same too. So
good. Well, hey,
give you props and give them a shout out.
We try. That's awesome. Warchant. I like it.
Yeah. So now, my only thought on that is that was a great pickup by you, because I just, that escaped my notice, and I think this is a smart legal strategy by Florida State, because one, they're not actually giving notice as far as what you read is in the thing. They're not giving notice, but they're saying, hey, if we do win, though, we want the judge to say, yes, our official notice was back on this date. Really smart by them. We'll see if the judge goes for that. But I think it's a smart strategy.
It is. It's aggressive, right? They have to give notice by August 15th of the year in order to be out by June of the following year. And of course, so they picked August 14th of 23, which means if this happens really, really fast, which it won't, but if it happens really, really fast, that's June 30 of 24. That's when they're potentially out of this thing. So I found that to be really, really interesting. Now, does having this, does a judge ruling on this, will he be able to overrule what's in the Constitution? I guess maybe he could. I mean, this clearly, putting this in their lawsuit is not giving official notice to the members or the commissioner. So there's some back and forth there. I don't know what comes first, the chicken or the egg.
I mean, I think a judge, because really, what is a constitution? What are bylaws? What are a constitution? We talked about this before. It's really, these are public and private entities are coming together in agreement. It's a contract. So yes, I think, I mean, it depends on if the judge wants to do it or not. But if the judge rules that, definitely I think he could rule it, because it's contract. It's contract law. You can apply the laws in the states of North Carolina, Florida, wherever, and rule that a part of the contract was legal or not legal.
Yeah, and you look at those counts, and I say, well, maybe it applies to some, and maybe it doesn't apply to others. So if if they breach the contract or breach fiduciary duty, then I would say, yeah, I would think that clearly means, okay, this contract's no good, we can use it. But if it's more regarding the punishments and the amount of the punishments, okay, well, that doesn't necessarily mean the contract is null and void necessarily. It's the interpretation of the punishments. Maybe, I don't know, or maybe I'm reading too much gray into that.
Well, I think the counter argument to that could be the punishments were listed so high. Florida State thought the punishments were high, but if a judge rules actually they weren't this high, they were only this, they could say, well, we would have left a long time ago. If we only knew it was this.
Good point.
Great catch by you.
Yeah, the other thing I want to mention is apparently there's rumorings that there could be 6 more schools in the ACC that are looking to follow FSU's footsteps. So Clemson, Miami, UNC, NC State, Virginia, and Virginia Tech. Obviously those schools plus FSU are commonly referred to as the Magnificent Seven in the ACC. While coming out of the meeting, the ACC meeting in May, the schools projected unity and yeah, there's no fire here, and they said all the right things. There are rumors that these schools are thoroughly examining the grant of rights. I think they all are.
They've all sent lawyers.
We talked about that too. I mean, they are trying to figure this out, see where the weaknesses are, see where the litigation may lead. So I kind of then say, well, man, if you've got 7. The Magnificent Seven, that's your 2/3, is it not?
Well, so you remember we talked about this on way back when we were kind of looking at it more from the Big Ten perspective. Before these lawsuits, the ACC made some moves to add some teams and add some programs.
Good point. Yes. So what are they now? 15,
right?
If you include them,
and some of that has to do with their deal with ESPN. There's some verbiage that says they have to have at least 15 teams. So. That's just something that's going to be up for debate.
Well, and you said, Steve, if I thought the Pac-12 was messy, that was nothing compared
to appetizer.
And I swear, every time I read a little bit more about this, it is just an onion that is bigger than the room we're in right now, I think.
And that's the thing. We've compared the contracts, and Judge Levy over in the Pac said, hey, every other conference should have more robust language. They got more robust language, but that what I say, that's just more billable hours for lawyers.
Well, they're good at it. They're good at it. So, hey, that's all I had. We'll make this one quick, but a couple items that I found really, really interesting. We're going to keep on this. Again, if you like this video, make sure you give us a like, give us a subscribe. We're going to be on this for, I think, a long while now. This is not going to go away anytime soon. Whether there's a settlement or we actually get to a hearing, we'll find out, but it's going to be a little while, and we are going to keep on it. With that, we thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on the Big Mountain.